Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be an update from my Project Level Up Lite. I'll leave the creators and my intro in the description box because I only have 10 minutes to film this entire video, so I can't go into every detail. But this project was originally created by Sophie Alexandra, but I'm doing the Lite version that was created by Ruth. So if you don't know what those are, go check out my intro for this project, but this will be my second update. I'm filming this a little bit early just to try to fit all my filming into my crazy schedule. Just to recap, for level 1 in my introduction, I rolled in my Baked Browns 1 eyeshadow palette. So I had to use all the shades once, except for one shade I had to use 10 times. And then last update, I reached level 2 and I rolled in my Baked Browns 2 palette. So just lots of neutrals for the beginning of the year. And for this palette I had to use every shade twice, except for 2 shades I had to use 10 times. This is what the palette looks like. You can barely see that first shade swatched at the very top, but here's the palette, and the shade names are Calm, Amber, Haze, Grounded, and Nocturnal. Sorry if I'm flashing you with the ring light. For the shade, this first shade, Calm, I actually used it. This was not even one of the shades that I was trying to hit my 10 use goal on, but I actually used this 6 times, so 4 times more than I needed to. I kind of just used this as my lid setting shade whenever I didn't have another one to use, because this was just in my like makeup organizer every day for the past month, so it was just easy to reach for. The second shade, Amber, I actually used 4 times as well. I'll just say all of these shades I used, or like all of the focus shades I used more than twice, or the non-focus shades I used more than twice. So yeah, I used Amber 4 times. I used it in conjunction with this last shade, Nocturnal. Also I used this one 4 times. I used these 3 shades together, except I just used this one a few more times on its own. I'm very disorganized in my thoughts right now because I'm trying to go quickly, but I feel like that's just slowing me down. So yeah, these 2 I used 4 times each in their own look together, with this one also 4 times, and then I just used this an extra 2 times. And then of course these are my 2 focus shades, which I was able to use 10 times. I use these together every single time. I'm wearing them today for my last use of the 10 uses each. So this is pretty much the look that I'm filming this before work, but this is pretty much the look that I would wear most days before work. Over this past month, I would just use those 2 shades together, and then I would put this shade from my Pan That palette just all over it. It's like a almost metallic but more leaning satin shade. It's really pretty on top, and it's just like a super simple cool tone look that I really love doing. So that's how I got all my 10 uses on those 2 shades, which means I'm leveling up. Since the last update, I did actually roll out, but I removed a palette from the options of my Dose of Colors wheel that I roll from for this project, because I used the Dose of Colors She's a 10 in my February 2 looks 1 palette video, so I'll also have that link down below if I can remember, but you should go check that out. So that's not going to be an option because I've just recently used it. I also know exactly what I rolled already because I rolled ahead of time, so you should be seeing that on the screen. And as you can see, the palette that I got for level 3 is Smoky Soiree. So here's what the palette looks like. There was a time, I think like in 2022, that this was my favorite palette. I do still love this palette. It's not like an absolute favorite anymore, but I still really love this palette, especially the 2 special shades. Actually, I also love these 2 mattes on the ends, and then I love a good matte brown. So yeah, I pretty much do love this entire palette. For this one, I'm going to have to use each shade 3 times, except for 3 of the shades I'll have to use 10 times. I don't know which shades those are. Most likely I'll be using these metallic shades, but I don't know, we'll just have to see how I end up using it. But the shade names are Fired Up, New in Town, On the Rocks, Out and About, and Midnight. Here's what the palette looks like swatched out. The shades are just the matte shades. They're so punchy and pigmented. This is with one layer of swatching, and then the metallic shades, the first one is so pretty and like it's just ethereal and it's so beautiful. It's a duochrome, but I don't know how much you can tell on camera. And then this like bluish gunmetal shade is so pretty and unique for my collection. I just love it so much. So I'm very excited that this is my level 3 palette. I honestly don't know if I'll be able to hit my goal on this by next update. If I don't, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm not trying to rush anything, but I will try my best to meet my goal on this by next update, which I actually have a little bit more time since I'm pre-filming this. But yeah, this will be my level 3 palette. Thank you to Sophie for creating this project and Ruth for creating a modified version that I'm able to do this year, even with all my other projects. And thank you to you for watching. I will just see you in my next video. Until then, I hope you have a great day. Bye.